Now that you say, what role did Dr. Sebi play in shaping your philosophy in health and healing?
Wow, big man. One of the biggest things was he really began to give. He gave a lot more color to number one, the diet. Sebi spent a lot of time really studying food
Yeah.
and having food sent off to different laboratories and broken down to figure out um, what was what was the chemical makeup of this food. Um, when did it originally begin to be cultivated? And what was the origin of it? And through this research, he found that most of the food was fake. And so by the time I met Sebi, obviously I grew up around herbs, so I had a pretty extensive foundation in different herbs and their uses, um, and had already begun putting it into practice and trying to help people, friends and family and stuff. Um, but when he started to talk about the food, the diet, and how the food was affecting our health in the body and the chemical reactions that were happening in the body, it was like all this stuff started to come together. My background in school, my educational background, was in the applied sciences. So chemistry was my thing. Like, I was a chemistry kid. I went to chemistry camp. My major in college was chemistry. So chemistry, physics, biology, all this stuff is like ingrained in my mind. And so as Sebi was talking, it was like I could see the science behind it. And I began to understand like exactly what he was saying and exactly why we were all sick. It made all the sense. And light bulbs are just going off, going off, going off, like, wow. So that was like, Sebi like stitched this thing together for me. He brought together all these kind of like floating pieces into this cohesive picture. And mind you, at this point, I had a terrible lifestyle. And so I had spent these years in the music and entertainment business and doing all the stuff they say come along with it. You know what I mean? And I had picked up some really bad habits. I was in pretty poor health, but there were some things that I still adhered to. Like, I was always going to make sure that I drank really good quality clean water.
Yeah.
I was always going to make sure that I took my herbs. By this time I had gone through a journey of, cutting certain things out. Like, I had cut pork out a long time ago. I had cut beef out. I had cut chicken out. And, I was always progressing. I had moved into like a pescatarian type of lifestyle. But, spending that time with Sebi, just like all these light bulbs going off. And the first thing I realized is like, bro, it's time for you to make some changes. Like, seriously. And I did. Like, I stopped smoking. I stopped drinking so much. I tightened up that diet, man. And because one of the things is like, man, I'm one of these people. I get a hold to some information. I got to figure out if it's true for myself.
Yeah.
It's one thing for somebody to tell me, like, that's cool, I believe it, I trust you, I have reason to believe. But man, let me get in there and see. Let me get in there and see what this is all about. Let me see what I'm capable of. And so at that point, I started to make changes in my own life. And that was around the time my youngest daughter was about to be born. And I just wanted her to know something different and to be able to show her an example. And so I started on that journey. And through that journey, through spending time with Sebi, I was inspired. I was like, yo, this is real. This is what I've been looking for. Like, and by this time, I've been around the world and I've done all kind of stuff, man. I've been an entrepreneur all my life. Like, that's all I know.
Yeah.
And it was like, man, I see an opportunity here, man. And I just envisioned a beautiful life. I envisioned at that moment a life where I could wake up every day and help people and make a good living at it. And I was like, man, it don't get no better than that.
It don't.
And I'm like, man, in order to do it, and so people always say, so during this time, I'm spending time with Sebi on a regular basis. Yes, we're having conversations about herbs. Yes, we're having conversations about health. Yes, we're having conversations about what the body needs to heal itself. But the bigger thing was watching how the man moved. And it was important to him to do what he was doing and do it with integrity. He's the same way. Before he gives somebody something, he done took what people would consider overdose amounts of it.
Overdose amounts of it.
Right. That's what integrity says. Integrity says, before I, in good conscience and good faith, give you something, I must have explored this all the way through to see what it's about.
Let's see what it's about.
Absolutely.
Now, can you share a personal story, a moment from your friendship with Dr. Sebi that impacted your path the most?
Yeah, man, there's a couple things that really stood out, man. And a lot of it had to do with the way that I met Sebi. I met Sebi through another brother, man, who I didn't know at the time would end up being a friend of mine, a mentor to me, somebody that I would do business with. His name was Thurston Bilal. And I'm forever grateful for this man. And so he introduced me to Sebi, and he introduced me to Sebi because I had this water company, this beautiful artesian alkaline water company. And he had mentioned it to Sebi, and he came back and was like, hey, you ever heard of this man named Sebi? I'm like, yeah. He's like, well, would you like to meet him? Because he want to meet with you. Like, what the hell he want to meet with me for? He's like, I heard you had this water, and these black people had this water. He want to know who it is. And I'm like, absolutely. Yeah, I'd love to meet him. And that meeting was so beautiful, man. It was like, he just embraced me in a very beautiful way. It was like immediate, like.
Because he understood the realness of alkaline water.
Absolutely.
And owning it.
Absolutely.
And natural, not infused tap water.
That's right. He really understood what it was, and he really understood what we were up against. Mm-hmm. He was like, bro, I know how hard it is. They don't want us to have our own resources. Mm-hmm. And the water is the most ubiquitous resource there is. We gotta have it. And it's important that we control these things. And I'm here for you. I wanna help you.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And I was like, well, at the time, we had investors, we had money. I'm like, well, I don't really need any money. He's like, okay, let me be a customer. And he's like, give me 40 cases right now, and I'll take 40 cases a week. And that's kind of how it started. And so that was very impactful also. That was very impactful. The other thing was, he really helped encourage me to make the changes in my own life. At the time I met him, I was like 360 pounds.
Oh, wow.
I smoked a pack of cigarettes every day.
Damn.
I drank terribly.
Yeah.
I had a really bad drinking habit. And, but there was never any judgment. Never any judgment. And he would just laugh and say, you know what, you make the change when you get ready. We all do it when it's time, when we get ready. And I saw things that made me know it's time. I saw people, come and post up in Los Angeles trying to get a consultation with Sebi. People come from all over the world and offer him all types of crazy money for 1 hour of his time. Yeah. Here I am sitting around with this man all the time, still smoking cigarettes. Like, this has got to be some kind of sin or disgrace before God. Like, come on, bro.
But when he smoked, because he smoked joints.
Yeah.
So he would smoke joints while you smoke your cigarettes?
I always would go outside and smoke my cigarettes.
Oh, okay.
I wouldn't, smoke inside, but I always go outside. And I did not smoke weed, so.
Okay.
And that was a crazy thing, man. I always tell folks, like, it wasn't like Sebi had like tapped me on the shoulder like, yeah, you're gonna be my guy. No, there were people around. There was always people around.
Yeah.
Sebi loved people. He loved to have people around. He would share information with anyone that was interested.
Mm-hmm.
But some people just thought it was cool enough, man, to just say, I smoked a joint with Dr. Sebi.
Oh, wow.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
you're missing it, brother. You're missing it.
You're missing.
The game is being given. He's giving you keys to the kingdom, man. Are you listening?
Yeah.
And so me, the way I work is like, man, give me something. I'm going to do my own research, follow up. I'm coming back with questions. Then we talk that down. Boom, that send me on my way. I'm coming back. Boom, we talk that down. And that
Now,
was
what was his, like, he said, out of all the herbs and vegetables, like, what would he say was like the most important or powerful herb or supplement you should take daily or incorporate daily?
CMOS.
CMOS.
CMOS. He loved that CMOS. Absolutely. I mean, he woke the world up to CMOS.
Yeah.
Nobody was really talking about it, you know, years before that. He woke the world up to CMOS. He really loved the CMOS. Sarsaparilla was a really big one for him also.
I wrote that down, sarsaparilla. I seen him say that.
Yeah.
Now, I followed his list for a long time.
Mm-hmm. The nutritional guide.
The nutritional guide. And it seems like certain stuff came in and out.
Mm-hmm.
And there's some misconceptions. Like kale, I thought was like a natural, but it is a hybrid too, but it's on the list, right? And then you got stuff like spinach that was on the list and got took off the list. And I'm not sure if asparagus, I think asparagus was the same thing, kind of like was on the list, then got took off. So now can you remind the people some of, because they might have the old list, what's some of the stuff that were on the list but then got taken out prior to him passing?
Let's talk about it in a more holistic fashion.
Okay.
The list is guidelines.
Okay.
It is imperfect. It is a living document, meaning that as new information comes available, it changes. Things get added, things get taken away. That was one of the beautiful things about Sebi, and back to this thing about integrity. He wasn't afraid to say, I saw that one wrong, or I got some new information, and this is how it is now. I believe this now.
Yeah.
And really all we're all doing is building off of the information that has been gathered by those before us and their research. And then we just add on and add on and add on. And, you know, Sebi's research into the food, into hybridization and genetically modified foods was like the crown jewel. That was like one of the biggest contributions that he gave to us. There were herbalists that came before, but nobody really like dug into that food in that way and brought it to us, to our community in the way that he did. But one thing to understand is that the work was incomplete.
Yeah.
The work was incomplete. Sebi didn't get a chance to analyze all the foods and have access to all these things. And so it is a guideline. And what it is that I believe in, that what I practice with my clients and in my business, is that if that body of work had been completed, what it would have all culminated into is that what we're really looking for is wild food. Yeah. We're looking for indigenous foods. We're looking for indigenous foods from indigenous cultures from all over the planet. Yeah. There's a lot of food out there. Yeah. Real stuff. Yeah. And it ain't all on the list. Yeah. And even things that aren't on the list, some things have a particular purpose, and they should be used for that purpose. Everything that's edible isn't food. Some of it has a purpose. There's some things out there that are just made to be like brooms, just to sweep out your digestive tract.
Wow. Like garlic?
Garlic, man, that's a
Because that's the thing.
that's a controversial one.
Because, for instance, I believed in Sebi a lot. At one point, I was particularly like, I'm only eating what's on this
that
list.
That's
You
it.
understand what
That's
I'm
how
saying?
we go. Yes.
But now, guilty pleasure, one thing I couldn't stop was potatoes. Like, I gotta have a French fry, something, like, you understand? But what I genuinely just didn't believe, or I just accepted that, he's not perfect. I still believe in these two products, and it was honey and garlic. It was the two things I just, in my mind, I just believe in it. You know what I'm saying?
So I'm with you, right? So I mean, everything has a place. Garlic is not food. Garlic is medicine.
Beautiful.
You're not supposed to eat garlic every day. You're supposed to eat garlic when you got a problem, and you use it in high doses for short amounts of time, and you leave it alone. It's not meant to be eaten every day.
Okay.
So even some things that have really good properties for a particular purpose at a particular time, when you use them outside of the way that they're supposed to be used, now they become detrimental.
Yeah.
Honey has some good properties also. The right honey, a lot of it's been bastardized. You kind of need to know where it's coming from, how it was cultivated, things like that. But I've learned in my journey that it's way bigger than just alkaline.
Yeah.
It's way bigger than that. And what we really are pushing now is the wild food movement. We're moving into wild food. That's what we want. What has been the least tampered with, the least bastardized? That's what we're looking for. That's where we unlock the real potential of what food can do for us.
So now, that's a great topic. What's some wild food that's out there right now that we see all the time, but like you said, like Sebi said, you can't really look at your mainstream markets. You got to look at these cultural, international, the Latino, the Asian markets, because
Yeah, so you walk in your standard grocery store, man, 90% of the stuff in there is not food.
yeah,
Like, it's just not. It's a lot of other things. It might be delicious. It might be comforting. It might taste good. It's not food, man, because the scientific definition for food for a human being is a substance that, when broken down to its most basic molecular structure, will create energy in the body.
wow,
And all that stuff, that crap is not doing that. And so when I say like wild foods, man, we're looking at stuff like malanga. We're looking at stuff like loroco. We're looking at stuff like, we like sprouts, alfalfa sprouts, clover sprouts. We like chayotes.
Now, it's dandelion. When I think dandelion, is it the same dandelions that we see as weeds?
Absolutely. Powerful food.
Wow.
Powerful supercharged food. Dandelions, purslane, lion's quarters.
You know what I heard?
Lamb's quarters.
What I heard is, I don't know if it's true, but we've been manipulated to think when you see these dandelions in your garden, they're weeds. So you get weed killers to take out this, because they don't look as pretty. But from what I hear, they actually alkaline the soil. And they're really like a food and a nutrient and a supplement to your garden, even though it might be an eyesore, but you can just pick it out and eat it.
Absolutely. Absolutely, bro. We got it all wrong. We got it all wrong. And if we don't begin to change our perspective and understand our place on this planet and in this universe, it's going to become very, very clear that we're the virus.
Wow.
We're the problem.
Wow.
You remove insects, the planet will die off.
Period.
Period. You remove an important species in the ecology and in the hierarchy of life on this planet, and things will die off. You remove the human being and the planet will flourish.
That is incredible. And
Things
it's
will
so
start
real.
to grow. The place will be so lush. It will
Yeah.
clean itself up and everything will be beautiful. So we gotta be very careful, man. We out of place.
Yeah.
We have overstepped. We
Wow.
out of place.
Yeah.
We think we're so much more important than all the other stuff that's happening here on this
And
planet.
everything we're doing is unnatural.
Unnatural. And so just like the dandelion, like, man, like just go out someplace that's been untouched and just look at like a 3-foot square and look. All those things are growing there in harmony.
Yeah.
And they're complementing each other.
Yeah.
They're communicating up under the ground in that soil.
Yeah.
One of them got this, one of them got that. They complement each other. I need that.
Yeah.
And you'll see these things grow together in concert.
Yeah.
And I don't know, man. We just don't want to do it that way. We
Yeah.
want what we want, and most of it is not good for us.
So the new movement is the wild food.
Wild food, wild moguls, wild food. Come
Wild
on,
food,
brother.
wild moguls.
Yeah.
And it's a natural state.
It
I mean,
is.
that's the definition of wild.
That's right.
It's a being living in its natural state. And
That's
a
what it
mogul is a very important, powerful person. So I believe we're all important, powerful by the grace of God. So we should live in our natural state. You understand?
Absolutely, man. And yeah, so that's what we're on, man. I'm moving because the word alkaline is so polarizing.
No, because it could be manipulated. So now they're taking tap water, making the science of its 9.5 alkaline, but it ain't taking out the chlorine. It ain't taking out the fluoride. You just alkaline fluoride and chlorine water.
And your body can't recognize it. You've changed the molecular structure of the water, and your body doesn't recognize it, and therefore can't assimilate it and use it very well.
So is it proven yet that fake alkaline water through the, like that Toggin machine, what Coggin machine, Kagan machine, and naturally alkaline waters are two different,
Totally different.
two different things?
The molecular structure is not the same. And so,
But now, sorry to cut you off, but does 8.5 or 9.5 fluoride, chlorine tap water still benefit the body or alkaline the body, but still have those other impurities?
no, it does not benefit the body. Definitely not in the same way. Your body's not going to be able to recognize it. That molecular structure, that's why they talk about some water is wetter than other. The wetter the water means that the molecules, the shape of the molecules, your body's able to use them better. The way that the molecules are bonded, your body's able to receive them in a much better way. By taking regular tap water and artificially raising the pH of it through an ionization process or through some chemicals, it's not the same. What you want for the pH of the water or the alkalinity of the water to come from the minerals that are dissolved in the water. The water is a mineral delivery system. So
Yeah.
that is what we're looking for.
Do you ever take Celtic water? I mean, Celtic salt?
Celtic
and-
sea salt and put it
Celtic
in the
sea
water?
salt and
All the time.
Put that into your water?
Absolutely. I did, last year I started a fast. I ended up doing 100 days. And I knew that when we start to do these extended fasts, that there's two things that we would need, and that we would need sugar and we need water. I mean, sugar and salt,
Yeah,
which is what we call electrolytes.
yeah.
That's all it is salt and sugar in an aqueous solution, meaning in water. That's chemistry. And with those things, the body is able to create those chemical reactions that create energy. And yeah, so, I would drink my water and I just put a few sprinkles of the Celtic sea salt down in the water. Not enough to really make it salty, just you're releasing those minerals into the water. And then, for the natural sugars, we drink coconut water.
Coconut water.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
So